So you've made a website or somebody's made one for you. You've given it a name and a space to exist online. It's published, it's ready to go, but no one's coming to it. What's going on there? Well, first of all, if nobody's coming to your website and you don't know why, it's not your fault. The thing that you have to know about having a website is that the act of simply putting it online isn't going to bring a whole rush of people to your digital front door. It may have worked that way in the early days of the commercial web in the 1990s. It would be just like, it seemed like really simple. You'd tell your friends and family about your website, and then suddenly it was out there and people were finding it. But the internet has changed a lot. At the time that I'm recording this, it's 2025. And there are a lot of websites out there, and new ones are being added every day. Granted, there are quite a lot of, shall we say, spammy websites, blog websites that are generated for the purpose of uh, holding ads so that the owner can get ad revenue, and they're usually full of junk content, cheaply written or perhaps AI generated. And a lot of these junk websites have been engineered, coded, crafted in such a way that Google will preference them in search engine results. It's not about whether this content is interesting or helpful, because if you've experienced this kind of recipe website before where it's just pages of text and when you just want the ingredients and there's tons of ads. Those ads are there because Google actually is the operator of those ads. So there's, tons of businesses out there and people using ads, but Google is the one getting revenue from those ads. And so it's in Google's interest to put those websites in search results so that Google can get more ad money. Yeah, it used to be that what you'd find in Google search results was actually very good. And it's still possible to get up there in results, but you have to know exactly what you're doing. And if you've never had a website before, if you're new to running a business online and maybe you don't actually use the internet all that much yourself, either way, it's not a simple thing to get online. There are simple things that you can do, pieces that you can put together that add up to make you more visible online, but it's not going to happen just because you've published a website. And if you've gotten a web developer or a web designer to build your website, and if you didn't have some kind of marketing contract with them that involved ongoing work to get you visible, then it's not their fault either because, well, that wasn't in the agreement. And so it's not their job. It's going to be your job. That being the case, you don't actually have to do it all yourself. It is perfectly valid to reach out to a digital marketing specialist like myself to help you with that kind of thing. Because yeah, people say in a nutshell, SEO is doing some work on your website to make it appear in Google search results. Sounds simple. It's not exactly that simple, though, in practice. And the results that you get in Google search change all the time. I mean, yeah, that's this in recent times, you'd get those recipe blogs, which are just full of ads. And now you're getting those AI overviews, instead of actual website links. So there's more noise to contend with. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is And the question that I see asked a lot is, should I use social media or should I use Facebook ads or Google ads? Or between Google ads and Facebook ads, which one is better? The thing about that is between Facebook ads and Google ads, there isn't one that's universally better overall than the other. The one that is better is the one that is better for you and your business. So just because somebody with that the business has great success with Google Ads, it doesn't automatically mean that if you copy and paste what they do, it's going to work for you. Even if your business is in the same category, um, it might be, you might have a different approach to how you engage with your audience, and your audience may resonate with a different message to someone else's audience. Generally speaking, though, if you are in a business where you provide services to other businesses, Google Ads is a great place to be if your service is high ticket, which is more than, like $50 a go. It'll be like you're doing like multi-thousand-dollar quote type things. If your business is more of a commodity type thing, like pet food or clothing, and if it's, very specialized and targeted thing, social media may be the place to go. But if you're selling goods that are more like not niche, products, but more of a commodity type thing, like big bulk bags of bird seed that are the same everywhere else, and you're just offering the cheaper price, Google Ads might be the place for you there. There's so many different nuances, and there isn't an easy answer as to whether one digital marketing platform is universally better than the others. Most business types can do pretty okay with social media and Facebook. But again, just because it works for most people doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, I can't really say like after listening to this podcast, like I can't say definitively that SEO is better than Google Ads or SEO is better than Facebook or Facebook is better than email marketing, because you could use a combination of those things or one of them or none at all. It all really depends on what works best for your business, and oftentimes that may mean engaging with a specialist to help you find that out. Usually figuring this stuff out also involves doing some research and looking at some data and talking to your customers. There's a reason why often places will have like a where did you hear about us in their intake form. And that information helps them decide where to invest their time and or their money in advertising and or online marketing. There are some things also that amateur web developers may not tell you that you need to do. And one very common thing that comes up, especially if somebody is just like focusing on the look, the design of their website, and so they just want something that looks good in their portfolio, and that's kind of their priority. How can I say this? It's not if you're just interested in building, if you're a web designer and you're interested in building a web design portfolio, it may be your priority to just create some good looking websites, and it may not occur to the web designer or the person who's commissioning that web designer to get that website out there. And so one common thing that goes missing is actually alerting search engines. So uh, usually that's Google. Often I'll include Bing as well. So what you actually should do when you launch a new website is that you have to do this yourself. You have to send a request to Google that says, hey, this is my website address, and this is either a new website or I have updated it, and I want you, Google, to go and check it out and then update your index, your database, and then use the new updated content on my website to update your search engine results accordingly. If you or your web designer haven't done that, then it's really going to hold you back in terms of when and where you appear in Google search results. And you might not even appear at all if somebody goes and types in your name or the name of your business. You might not even come up if that step hasn't been done. That's SEO 101. That is just one tiny component in the tapestry of SEO that fits within the tapestry of advertising and marketing yourself. And this tapestry is unique to you. So, yeah, in a nutshell, if you build it, they're not going to come. If you make your website and publish it, you're going to have to do things to bring people to it. So that could be posting on social media, that could be a blog, that could be a podcast, that can be going out and talking to people. But it has to be an ongoing effort. And whether or not you choose to do a blog or do Facebook ads, again, it's not about whether one is universally better than the other, because that's not how it works. How it works is that you have to find the one that connects to your audience, and that if you're doing it yourself, you have to enjoy doing it as well. Because if somebody tells you, oh man, podcasts are the best way to reach people, but you don't enjoy doing that, it's going to feel uncomfortable and people are going to see that. Just like if, TikTok 30-second TikTok dances are the thing to do and you don't feel comfortable doing that, it's going to show through. Even though a bunch of people will see you, they're going to see that you're not comfortable with that. But certainly if you've got a zone of genius that you love talking about, but maybe you don't like sort of being present on camera like what I'm doing here, then start a blog. Or if you don't mind talking to people, but it's a bit uncomfortable being like in front of a computer screen camera, if you don't mind talking to people, but do not like this mass audience thing of being in a social media video or a podcast, and go network. Start an email newsletter. Do text posts on social media. The thing is, like I said before, it's not about which platform is the best. It is about how clearly you can articulate what your audience member, what your customer will get. If you make the activity that you do, or the platform that you post on, or the platform that you advertise on, if you understand what your client or your customer wants, and you can articulate that in such a way that makes them say, shut up and take my money, then it really doesn't matter which platform you go on. You just have to have that resonance with your person. And hey, I'm going to say, enjoy what you're doing too. I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions about choosing your platform or doing some ongoing work in SEO or email marketing, digital ads, something like that, if you're not quite sure if what you're doing is the best for you, then let's have a chat. I'd love to hear from you. My name is Lou. I am a digital business consultant, and I am so pleased that you've listen to this whole thing, and I can't wait to see you grow and shine online. Bye for now.